Hello friends and welcome to Let's Play Minecraft. Oh, and it's not on my screen. Oh, I just sat down. Blah, 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 blah. There it is. Hello friends, welcome to Let's Play some Minecraft. I'm your host, MagicManMo. I am not wearing the correct attire for this, but I lost track of time. I was not paying attention to the time, so it's already 10:05, so I'm 5 minutes late. I hope you will forgive me. We're just gonna hop into this. We're playing the single player Send Me the Cheese World. Because that's what I called it. It continues to be called that. And today, I've titled our stream Sugar Pie Honey Bunch because we are going to be dealing with some sugar cane. We're going to be moving some sugar cane, making our... Mostly, what I think I'm going to do, I was thinking about doing a sugar cane farm, like set up like a farm. But actually, I think we're going to just expand this canal and just on both sides of it, sugarcane. And I think we're gonna we might do some fancy stuff with wood and make some like bridges around it and stuff like that, but I think for the most part, I think step one to working on our sugarcane is actually working on our canal. There's a few of you in the chat. I welcome Racing Fan, Henry, Garricky, and Luis to the stream. Hello, so glad you could make it. We're doing some of this. So I do have a ton of shovels I need to go acquire. There's oh my god, that was a lot of lightning. We do have our farm here. For those of you that maybe missed the 24-hour stream, or if you were at the 24-hour stream but missed the part where we worked on this, we worked on a greenhouse. A greenhouse for our thing, and what we did, I mean, I think that was mostly done on last Minecraft stream. I kind of forget a little bit, because we had a 24-hour stream the other day, yesterday, and it was... my mind has been melted a little bit, so I forget what we've accomplished and when. I think most of this was done, but we did the roof, we did this sort of beginning area. We did not finish doing the underneath area where I'm going to actually put my storage of wheat and seeds and have my bone meal generator down there. But we did a lot of this stuff the other day, and we also did some, I think we did some mining for a hot minute too. But Tyler Hanlon, hey, welcome to the stream. So glad you could make it. Yes, I am streaming once again. We're doing some Minecraft for a couple of hours tonight, and I think we're going to be working on a canal system. I still need to replace this. Do I have any, like, sand or something on me? No. I think, what are these things made out of? Hardened clay? I don't think I have any hardened clay. I'll have to go looking for it, but we're going to go ahead and, you can only sleep during thunderstorms. So apparently, it is daytime, but rainy over there, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm going to go ahead and put some stuff away from my inventory, grab some shovels, and... I don't know how many buckets I own. I definitely own one that is filled with lava. I will remove the lava from it because we're going to use it to move some water. And we're going to work on our canal system. We also need to go mining for more coal and stuff eventually. We'll see if we get around to that today. Probably not. The canal will probably take some time, and then we're going to try to fill the canal up with sugarcane on either side. We might make a more legitimate sugarcane farm that's like enclosed. At some point in time, maybe, but also maybe we'll just do something fancy with the canal and maybe light it up or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how fancy I want the canal to be, and I might just section off a part of the canal as the sugarcane farm. Super Mario Kennedy, welcome to the stream. So glad you could make it. If none of that made sense to you, don't worry. Hopefully, if I do my job, it'll all make sense as we work on it and do it. So I don't need to have the hoe on me. I'm gonna put the hoe away. I should probably move the hoes over to the farm at some point in time, or at least a couple of them. We'll worry about that. Oh, there's a hoe up here I should have used. Oh, well. And we got a bunch of shovels. We'll need a few, at least. I'll take 5. Sure, that's a good start. The scaffolding we can leave as... oh, I forgot that I've got a cat actually following me around right now. We'll leave him following me around. It'll be good creeper deterrent. I'll go ahead and put my scaffolding in here as a wood object, even though it's not made out of... Actually, was it made out of wood? No, it was made out of bamboo sticks. So it's not made out of wood, but we do keep bamboo here, so maybe, sure, why not? Chests are... We can shove our chests there. I don't think I need to have any wood on me for what we're about to do. These are planks, though. I usually keep planks up here. Let's do that. The slab, though, can go down here. Glass we're keeping in here. And cobblestone we're keeping over here. And the dirt that I have on me, because we're about to get a bunch more dirt, can go here. We're gonna fill this up with shovels, I do believe. I can almost fit all of them with me. I don't know that I really need to have my pickaxe with me, but who knows? We'll keep it with me anyway. Now, do I have a second bucket somewhere? If I did have a second bucket somewhere, it would probably be in my junk drawer, which is quite full. I don't see a secondary bucket. Now, I don't necessarily need more than one bucket, but I'm gonna go ahead and make a second bucket. Because, I mean, there's nothing more convenient when moving water around than having more than one bucket. Let's do that. Do I want to do something with the lava in my bucket? Do I want to preserve it for any reason? Do I want to make like a trash can for like just destroying stuff? Not really. I don't usually destroy items that I don't want to keep. I usually just put them in chests somewhere, so we don't really have a destruction chest. Some people do that, or at least back in the day, people did that. Like if you had a ton of dirt, people would have like a lava trash can basically that would destroy their dirt or extra cobblestone or whatever it is they didn't need, and that always felt like a waste to me, like that, like an unnecessary waste. So I guess I don't really need this lava. I'm trying to decide what to do to like dispose of it that's like responsible. How do you responsibly dispose of lava? Other than I guess placing it down and then putting a block in it and then destroying it. Do we want to destroy the lava forever or keep it somewhere? Why is there a piece of sand here? Why is there a piece of sand here? I'm gonna go shove it over here for now. Sure, why not? I know that's floating in midair. I know I can address it, but maybe we'll address it another time. I guess I can take a piece of sand from this building or something. I don't know. That's okay. It looks like it's not thunderstorming, but it looks like it is nighttime. So we're gonna sleep through the night so that we can do this during the day. We got some day work to do. Okay. I think I just locked my cat in there, but it's okay. He'll figure out how to get out. We haven't named that cat. That cat has gone unnamed thus far. Let's set down our Oh, who's shooting me and from where? Oh, there's a skeleton. Hey there, buddy. Hey there, buddy boo. Oh. There you go. Snuck up on me. I should probably actually light it up down here so that we don't have that situation, huh? That'll do, probably. That'll probably do for light for now. We'll do something fancier now. Eventually, this is going to be enclosed, and that's going to be a storage space anyway, so eventually that's going to make sense. By the way. Cool. Don't mind me. Just check some. Okay, there we go. And let's get rid of... I've got a bone now. I really don't need to have this bone on me. I want to get rid of this lava. Let's just get, I don't know, some sand or something. Plop that down. Sand. I'm just gonna get rid of it. We have access to a nether. The nether exists in our world, in our universe. We don't need to have we don't need to have that. Okay, bucket. Tell you what. Let's get some water now. Let's get some infinite water somewhere. Oh, I forgot I need to take care of this. That is gonna be slightly problematic. There's like a cave down there, I think is why I dug down here. I dug down here because there's a cave down here that we haven't actually explored. That apparently I can't really get to very easily either. How did I do that? Oh, I've got, okay, hang on. I'm gonna explore this for a hot second. We never did. I think the last time we opened this up was back when we're still doing hardcore, so I think that's why this is so weird. All right, let's, anybody down here? My cat's down here. Hello. It's dark down here. Oh, there's a bat. Hi, bat. Oh, there's a bunch of coal down here. Maybe I should raid this for resources real quick. How far in does this go? Quite a ways, actually. It doesn't look like it dead ends anytime soon. No, it just keeps going. Okay. Quick exploration. Maybe. Ooh. Oh, maybe dead end? Yes, dead end. Okay. I'm gonna raid this for resources actually real quick. I know this has nothing to really do with the canal, but our canal is gonna go right over where this sort of entrance to this cave that we had discovered a while ago is. So I'm gonna mine it for its goodies real quick. You know, iron and coal is I think all that I saw in here. I'm not too worried about keeping it open for stone or whatever. I'm not too worried about that. Or diorite. I do need coal though. I'm getting low on the old coal. Yeah. Better. Cool. And some coal over there. I think I saw a little bit of iron in a ceiling somewhere. Iron can be kind of easy to miss, so I'm going to keep my eyes open for that. We're going to clear this out. Yep. Yep. I guess I could mine it out for its. I could go mining it out for its gravel too, since we're turning streets into gravel. Oh, this is a dead end over here. Okay, so this is a cute, quaint little cave system that we have now finished checking out. That was it. Okay, that was simple. Sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it's nice to find like just little caves, just little dead end caves like this that you can easily pick out the important resources that you care about. Just pick that out, grab what you need, and get out and be done with it forever. It's kind of nice. Simple. All right, now I wanted to do that. I'm going to leave the torches down there just because, who knows, maybe I'll have a reason to go back down there and check that out another time. I'm going to grab that ink sack because I just don't like to waste items if I can help it. Totally not. Hey, welcome to the stream. So glad you could make it. Burger King. What about Burger King? What's Burger King? Should I build a Burger King down there? Maybe. Get some steaks, make some bread, get bread, steak, bread, burger. There you go. There it is. Laringen, welcome to the stream. I'm so glad you could make it. Hi there. Racing Fan, did you get a new logo? Are you wearing it in your profile picture now? On my screen, it's too small for me to see, but maybe I'll check that out at some point. Give me Burger King, you say. Please. I don't have any Burger King, although I think the one that is near me doesn't close till 11, maybe? So it might be open. But I mean, that doesn't mean I'm going to get you any Burger King. I mean, I don't know about that. All right, so let's see how deep. So if I'm going to connect this up in canal fashion, this would be pretty much, yeah, this is basically the bottom layer where not really. I'm going to have to like lower basically all of this down by 1 to actually fill it up with water. But let's actually clear out this kind of entry area, because this will be the entrance and exit out to what's essentially the ocean. This leads out to the much bigger ocean. There's kind of like a lakey, bigger ocean thing over that way as well. I don't have my big area map on me. I don't remember exactly how the waters line up, but it's something like that. But this is our access to the water that's closest to where we actually live, to our village that we actually live in. So this is the area. This is kind of our port. This is kind of our port that's side by side with our farm. For some reason, our farm acts as a beacon into the port, as almost like a lighthouse style. I have to build a lighthouse at some point in time. It's just gonna be a tall tower of stone with a torch on top. You should build one, a Burger King. Should I build a Burger King? Build a burger joint? That might be kind of funny. Build some random like stores and stuff in the village. Something that I want to do, because I'm always having trouble finding villagers, something that I do want to do is actually, and the thing that I'm most worried about is that I think if I don't do this right, I think I'm going to end up resetting my villagers, which would suck. So I'll have to see if I can figure out a better way around that or not. Maybe there is no way to do that. I don't know if there's a way around it or not, if I want to do it the way I want to do it. What I would like to do in the village is build some buildings that make sense for villagers to have like shops in. So if I have an archery shop or something like that, I would have my Fletcher in it, right? Some singular building where I can go, where I can always expect to find my Fletcher or my librarian or my mason or something like that. Have actual buildings that they can't actually escape. So ideally, those would also be the buildings that they live in. I would have their beds in it or whatever. It'd be basically their houses / shops in one. That way, I always know where to go if I want to trade or deal deals with specific villagers, because they're kind of hard to find. Especially if I wanted to expand the village into a much larger city and get a lot more villagers in the village in the first place. Because if I get more villagers, it's only going to make it harder for me to actually find specific ones that I'm looking for, any master ones. Like if I have, for example, I think I have 2 librarians. One's like a master librarian, one's like a novice librarian or whatever. If I find the novice, but I'm looking for the master, I can't find him, you know what I mean? So something like that, I kind of want to force some villagers to get stuck into their respective shops, is kind of what I want to do. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do that with the villagers that currently have jobs. It might be possible that wherever their job block is that they would normally hang out at, we'll just have to stay where it is, and maybe I can turn those spots into where they live. I'll have to see if I need to restructure anything. There's a couple of villagers with jobs from random blocks of like the anvil outside my storage area, for example. If I ever wanted to move that anvil, I think it's going to technically remove that, like, I think there's a villager tied to that anvil for their jobs, is what I'm trying to say. Is I think there is a villager tied to that, and I would lose that if I moved it. Although it is right next to my storage area. Nothing next to that technically has to move, but I would, you know, if I wanted to, that would happen. Hello, hello, or welcome to the stream. I'm so glad you could make it. Hey there. We are working on the canal, which will eventually also mean that we're working on the sugarcane farm. Because I thought about doing, I explained this a little bit earlier, but I thought about doing...
Ogres are like onions. End of story. Bye-bye. See you later.
Ogres are like onions. Don't forget it. These are facts. These are the facts. These are the cold, hard truths that we have to live by. But I thought about doing an actual sugarcane farm that would maybe even be enclosed, possibly. Think of like a greenhouse, but for sugarcane. But I got to thinking that that wouldn't necessarily be necessary if we just turn our canal basically into our sugarcane farm and just farm it up and down. It doesn't make it necessarily the easiest and most convenient thing to actually farm, to actually harvest all of the sugarcane. It wouldn't necessarily be super convenient, but it's not something that we're doing all the time anyway. It's something that, you know, you only do once and then you come back in a couple Minecraft days once it's all grown back, do it again, whatever. It's something that we only do occasionally anyway, and I think it would be, since a canal is something that we want to do, making the canal also our sugarcane farm, basically killing two birds with one stone. It's accomplishing two of our goals at one time, basically. We want a canal system running through. We want sugarcane. The canal is going to create a bunch of area where sugarcane can be grown. Easy peasy, two birds, one stone. That's kind of the idea. And we have a bunch of shovels. We own in our possession a bunch of shovels, so this will be a good opportunity to burn through as many shovels as we possibly can. So think about it that way too. We'll be acquiring a bunch of dirt. I don't know what we're gonna do with all this dirt. Who knows, but we have it. We will have it. It's starting to get dark out here. I could stay out here in the dark and just fight monsters and keep at it. I could do that. Hopefully creepers would stay away because I have a cat. And then maybe we can fight some skeletons, and if we get any spiders, we can get some string. I could use some string. What I could really use is maybe a piece of slime so that maybe we can get some leads built. You know, because what is it? Like a stick and some string? That's how you make a lead? I do believe that is how that works. The question is, too, I don't know how wide I actually want the canal to be. I don't actually know. If I go back to the mouth of this river that I'm kind of creating, we'll see if we have a specific size we want to go for. Laringen, hello! I already said hello. Did you miss it? Did you miss me when I said hello? Hello. No villager occupation uses an anvil. The anvil. Oh, okay. But they do for the blast furnace. I also have a blast furnace over there. So if I had to move that, for example, anvil was the first thing that came to my mind. Really, if I wanted to move anything. But I know I have a blast furnace sitting out, just kind of in the open too, that we might have to deal with as well. I thought I heard an Enderman teleporting, so I was kind of looking around. So is this about how wide I'd want it? Oh, geez, you scared me. You snuck up on me. Jesus, you weren't there literally 2 seconds ago. You did like no damage to me, but you scared the crap out of me. He was not here 2 seconds ago. Okay. Maybe we will go ahead and nap. Maybe we will go ahead and nap through the night. Maybe we will. There's a creeper. Hopefully we're fine because my cat is apparently over here. Okay, great. We'll just sleep through it. We'll call that right. The armorer uses the blast furnace. That's right. Aaron Gaming, hello. Hey, welcome to the stream. So glad you could make it. We're making a canal. A cannoli. Oh god, there you are. I forgot that creepers don't just despawn in the daylight, so he didn't really go anywhere. Be gone! Be gone, Satan! I guess I could have dropped my dirt and stuff off. It's fine. I know this guy's not hurting anybody over there, but you're dead now. I am going to go ahead and kill a spider. Again. For the string! I want your string! Yes. I don't have a big use for it, but like, you know, fishing rods, leads, whatever. Fishing rods, actually. I don't know how much string I have, but fishing rods, maybe. And that kind of thing. I don't know what else uses string. Besides leads, which I think use string, and fishing rods, which definitely use string. What else uses string? I'm kind of coming up blank right now. I'm sure there's got to be something else too, right? All right, if we're actually kind of done down there, maybe I should fill that in. Or I can just let it be filled with water. That's fine. So if we keep it about this wide. Or do I want to, to get to the fishing area, I do think I want to shovel out part of this. Because I think the pathway that we're gonna have going into my fishing area, which in hindsight, maybe I should have had slightly raised, I'm not sure, but it's kind of at the ground level at the moment. Maybe I should have had that slightly raised, maybe not, I don't know. But if we want our path to go over there, I'm gonna shovel this out. Do I want to lower all of this by 1 or not? How do I actually want to be able to get down into my storage area? That's kind of... Do I want to have like a ladder from inside the irrigation room? Or do I want to just be able to go down from like here? I didn't give that a lot of thought. I think I might just end up putting like ladders. Maybe going down there. Would the ladders be too garish? And do I want to have to go into the farm every time I want to like walk to the fish to go fishing? Because I could have like a ladder or something coming down into here, into this room from up there. Maybe along a wall or something, because eventually these will be walled in a little bit. And then I could have like a pathway that goes from our storage area and around, or I could do it from outside. And again, if I had like a ladder here, I'd come down to here. There'd be like a path around here. Well, I feel like, weren't we going to irrigate actually this section? I didn't think this through a lot, but I think we're going to irrigate, not irrigate, but canalize that section so that we can get a canal that goes all the way over to here a little bit. Oh my God. Oh, sup, you guys? There's too many of you. There's too many of you. I'm not prepared. Hang on a sec. hang on. I need to kill some of you with my crossbow. Hang on. They're still coming. I'm not ready. My body. Oh, there's a cave there that I've apparently forgotten about. Oops. Okay, I think they stopped chasing me. Yeah, they did. They did. I was not prepared for that. There was so many of you. All right, hang on. I need a crossbow. Ooh. I don't know if I need to shoot. Okay. There we go. Yeah, advancement. Who's the pillager now? Yeah. We got it. We did it. We did the thing. I have forgotten about this area. Oh, there's a creeper in here. We need to check that out at some point in time. There was more pillage. There they are. Now the one that's like... The one that's actually got the... Oh, wasn't there more? Oh yeah, there they all are. If I can get this guy shot by one of them, they'll fight each other. That would be ideal. That would be most ideal. I don't have a bucket of milk on me if I summon a raid. That guy's just wandering off. I do have a bucket though, and I could probably get to my cows pretty easily, actually. Oh, you're right. I think we're just gonna murder them. I can get to my cows pretty easily. I do have a bucket on me, so that works. Uh-oh. Man, you got pretty close to me. You haven't even fired. There it is. I was like, you haven't even fired at me. Oh, ow, that hit me. I'm trying to see if I can get this guy on the left to shoot the guy on the right. Come on, shoot each other. Yes! They should start fighting. Maybe? Apparently the guy with the banner is too smart for. Why am I taking damage? I've got my shield up, darn you. I think I'm just gonna fight them. Because this is not going. Ah, there you go. He got him. There we go. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. You fool! You fool! I have destroyed the possibility of being poisoned with a curse or whatever. And I have another ominous banner to add to my collection. All right. Now the rest of these guys are screwed. Silly pillager. Silly pillager. You're silly. Oops, I missed that. Silly pillager. aim's a bit off. Don't you shoot my villagers. Don't you do it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you better run. Yeah, that's right. Scared the crap out of me. They came out of nowhere. Spooky. But yeah, like I say, I probably going to canal this out a little bit. We'll probably do the ladder thing on the outside of the area of there is probably what I'm gonna do, and that's okay. Or I guess I could even have some sort of thing coming down here. I'll come up with something. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. All right, so we're gonna dig out. I think down to here. How wide do I want my path? Too wide? Too wide's probably a good sized path. So we'll mine this out, shovel this out as well. There you go. So it's actually pretty wide coming into here. But then it'll shrink. I think for the rest of the way that way and going that way, probably only 3 wide. Do you want it wide enough for a boat to be able to get through? Pillager dummies. Pillagers for dummies. So wide enough for a boat to be able to get through. But skinny enough that it's not going to be an ungodly amount of work to actually do. So like here, we're at roughly 3 across. Well, this is 3 across right here, right now. And it would come through. I'm gonna get rid of these corners. Nice and even. So at its wide, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, at its widest, this would be 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 and 4 this way. This corner would have to go. I feel like 3 is too skinny though. So I guess really at its widest, this is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So over here really ought to be 4 as well, realistically speaking, I guess. Okay, we'll do 4 then. 4. So what we're doing now is laying out. Oh, I am quite full on space. Let's go take care of that. I'm laying. Oh, I'm leaving dirt behind. We're laying out where the canal is gonna go. We're literally gonna have to like lower that all by 1 though to actually place the water into it. But that will be the ground floor, the ground level of how high we would expect the water to actually physically be. It's not like we're gonna get the entirety of our canal system from like all across the lands done, but we'll have a good start on it. Okay, drop the dirt off. I've got some iron on me. We'll go ahead and just blast that. Ooh, I got some spare coal. Spare coal. Where were we keeping coal? In here? I don't know if that's where we were keeping it or not, but I think it actually was, but we ran out. We used all of what we had. Flint, where were we? We were keeping flint somewhere. Was that just in the junk drawer as well? Yes. Flour can go into here. String, how much string do we have? We have 34 string. We do have quite a bit of string. Rabbit hide. I've got my boat on me. At some point I picked up my boat. That's okay. We will put that in the wood stuff, actually. Sand. And then stone. And cobble. And we've got the gravel. Gravel we were just shoving in here because we were using it for our road. So we'll use that again real soon. There we go. And we've got space. Okay, let's go grab a couple more shovels. Finally, a use for all these shovels. Let's just start with the 4, because it seemed like that took up quite a bit of space for what we did. Let's grab more food. We're burning through a watermelon like it's nothing. Do I have more watermelon? I do. I have a little bit. We're burning through our watermelon. That's okay, though. Take a nap through the dark. Through the night. Through the night. Nope, not that guy. We don't need to kick him out of bed. There's always a free bed around somewhere. We don't have all our beds actually filled, so there's always a bed lying around somewhere. Cat sleeping on me. Oh. They actually have an animation for the cat sleeping on you when you go to bed, which is kind of nice. It's the small things. It's the small little details that mean so much. I guess, or something like that. Oh, hey, buddy. Ow, set me on fire, you little turd. I'm still on fire. Hang on. There you go. You want to do combat? You want to murder yourself in the ocean? Tequila. I looked right at the Enderman. He vanished, and now he's nowhere to be found. I was going to try to fight him close to the water. Oh, I heard him. Where you at? Oh, there he is. Oh. Well, maybe he's not mad. Maybe I didn't. Maybe vanished actually right as I was looking at him. Yeah, come at me. I need your pearls. Yeah. I'm not scared. Ow. I'm not scared of you. I'm in the ocean. You can't fight me in the ocean. You don't like water. Yeah, that's right. God, he hits so hard though. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna eat watermelon underwater. There we go. Did you drop a pearl? Did I get one? Nah, he didn't drop a pearl. I got his grass blocked though, for what that's worth. Tequila. Probably because he took water damage. Because if they die of something that's not you, they don't usually drop anything. You know, like if a village, well, maybe that's not how it is anymore. I think that's how it used to be. Like if a zombie, well, because I think even zombies, if they die to sunlight, do they still drop rotten flesh? Because I think that used to not be that way. I feel like that used to not be the case. But maybe it is now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, perfect. This is the... Actually, slightly too wide is what this is. Because right there is actually perfectly even. So this is actually slightly too wide. If we were trying to make it all perfectly even. I actually do have some dirt, so we could do that. If we were trying to be like really specific about how wide everything is. If we were trying to be really specific, I mean, we don't need to be, but we could. If we were trying to be super specific in our terraforming, we would only want it to be that wide, actually, all the way down to that. We'll get more dirt though. Seeds. I've got a flower. Anybody want a flower? How'd you escape? There we go. Yeah, because if we were being super specific, technically there would be more land under here. Oh, okay. If I want the water going underneath the bridge to be equidistant, though, 3 and 3 on either side. That's 6 wide, so it'll widen up. Realistically, it's gonna widen up when it gets down to here. But I guess I could still have this path be skinnier. Or do I want it to be that wide? It'd be pretty wide. You trying to make a river? Yeah, it's our canal system. Okay. Let me ignore that and come back to it for a hot minute. If I run all the way down to where does this water go exactly? Because I think it pools up over. Oh, forgot about that. That's a thing apparently. I think a creeper blew up there maybe at one point in time. Because it goes all the way to around to here, and then continues on kind of through the desert-ish. Okay. We probably won't get that far along today for sure, but I want the canal today to get as far as our bridge, maybe? Since that's kind of the area that we've started with for our sugarcane. This is quite a wide turn. Okay. Yeah, we'll pretty this up in a little bit. Let's start with the mouth of the ocean and start working our way in. Or even right here. I guess we can. Da-da-dun-dun, da-da-dun-dun, da-da-dun-dun-dun-dun. Because now that I've got some dirt, let's see if we can finish this out a little bit. This would go all the way out to there if we were making that the same size. There we go. And there we go. Canals reminds me of Mount Mo. Yeah, we did a little bit of canal work on Mount Mo. Mount Mo is going to always just be your sort of default MagicManMo Minecraft experience, isn't it? Gonna always remember what could have been at Mount Mo. But this is Mesa Mo. A desert that we've kind of pseudo-irrigated. We'll go ahead and just get rid of all this stone while I've got the pickaxe out. There's some sandstone as well. Get rid of that so that we're not trying to shovel it. And yes, we are just flooding that cave. We're just letting that happen. That can just happen. That's okay. Ooh, I left one piece of stone here. Careful, cat. It's about to get wet. Oh, this isn't gravel. This is andesite. I was mistaken. I make goof. Is that water stopping right before? Why is that water stopping right there? Oh, maybe because of the hole. I thought it was stopping right before it could get to the cat, just because the cat could water bend. Are you a water bending cat? Are you a water bending cat? I would be super impressed if that was the case. Of course, the while shoveling is tedious work, the more tedious work is going to be actually filling it with water. Honestly. I could make like some iron shovels or some like diamond shovels and just really go to town. We could do that. I'd probably only make the one diamond shovel. Is making a diamond shovel a waste of a diamond? It is only one diamond, but if you're doing a lot of digging, maybe it's worth it. Especially if you enchanted it, I guess. Because then if you could make it like unbreaking or something, then you could get a lot of mileage out of it. So that might be worth doing. I am level 27. I can almost get like 30 level enchantments. Once we get to that point, maybe we can make a full set of diamond tools. We do have quite a few diamonds. We have a toolsmith, but he's not master yet. Oof, oof, hey, welcome to the stream. I'm so glad you could make it. I wish they made ducks in Minecraft. Some people literally mod, like with the skin packs, whatever they the resource packs is what they call them now. I think they used to be called something else. I don't remember what it is now, but that actually changed the chickens into ducks. Or at least that used to be a thing. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that as a thing. Not that it makes a lot of sense to, well, maybe it does. Ducks lay eggs. Does anyone, like, farm duck eggs for consumption? Is that a thing? Can you, like, eat duck eggs? I mean, I know it wouldn't be nearly as efficient as chickens. I don't think they lay nearly as often as chickens. But does anyone, like, you can eat duck eggs, I'm sure. Is that a thing people do? I'm sure it is. I've never really questioned that. Never really given that any thought. Alright, I got one more shovel. We'll burn through the rest of this stone shovel, and we might enchant like a diamond shovel. That would probably be pretty baller. Because Aaron Gaming says do it, it's worth it. It might be. Although we have accomplished actually quite a bit of digging with our stone ones, and we do already have quite a few stone ones as it is. So we could just keep using those to at least get rid of them so that you know, they have some kind of use and purpose. It is getting quite dark out. I hope I don't die. I was gonna try to keep going through the night, through the night until I at least got rid of the shovel. One, two, yeah, I guess I do want to actually go into this. I thought I heard something walking. I thought I heard a walking. I thought a zombie was gonna try to sneak up on me and eat me. Zombie, zombie, zombie. That way we have at least 3 on one side, and if we get 3 on the other, what would that look like? Yeah, this is 3 on this side, so this will go all the way through. Especially if we get to the point where we're making the canal very long. When we start focusing down on a lot more of the canal across our sort of continent, if we start doing that, actually I didn't need to dig that out right now. If we start doing that, yeah, we would definitely want some more powerful shovels. Okay, cool. That's a thing. This is slowly going to become a thing. I do need a better way of getting up here, though, now. Eh. Ugh. My sneaky way of getting into town. Sneaky way. Gotta sneak our way into town. Jump the fence. How much space do I have? I'm gonna go mine that bamboo. I don't know if there's... I really don't know how tall bamboo can get. I haven't bothered to try to look it up. That might be the height. That might be it. But I figure I'll keep trying to remember to, when it seems like it is at least pretty darn high, to swing by and... I don't have my axe on me, do I? I do not. To at least swing by every now and again and collect all of the bamboo when it's pretty tall so that we can keep it for... I don't know how much scaffolding I'll realistically need to make, but even just being able to turn it into sticks that I can eventually sell for emeralds. I mean, it's a slow process, but better than actually using my wood on sticks. Since wood is kind of more of a process to collect, chopping down a tree is a little bit more of a process. That's the other thing. Eventually, we'll need to make like some really good axes if we go, when we go to town and need to go collect some more. Oh, hey, buddy. Go collect some more wood from our forest so that we have more building materials, because we're not like super low right now, but if we wanted to do some major building projects, we could burn through it pretty quick. There looks like to be some bamboo on top of my balcony, so let's go take care of that. It can get really tall. Yeah, and it was already looking pretty tall. This guy that's living in my house, we will have to destroy him. It's just the way it's got to be. Hey, Enderman. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Yeah, I'm summoning you to me. Come up here and fight me like a man. I want your ender pearl. Actually, I should probably eat. I'm kind of low on health. Well, I'm not kind of low on health, but I'm low enough that I'm not going to be getting healing out of it for very soon. You can't figure out how to get to me, can you? Well, I can't shoot you with my bow. You'll vanish. Yeah. Just testing if that was still a thing. All right. Ouch. Oh, there he goes. You turd. You turd. I come down to fight you and you vanish, you turd. Oh, I'm gonna straight up. I'm gonna straight up die. Haha. Ha ha. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Teleport into my house? He could legit do that. He could legit do that. Oh god dang it. Don't worry, it's not hardcore anymore. The game's not hardcore anymore. Oh, I did just lose a ton of levels though doing that, didn't I? Oh, I'm an idiot. I always forget about levels. It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's whatever. I'm not even mad. It's whatever. Alright. Where'd my pants go? Did you take my pants? Am I holding my pants somewhere and I don't see it? Did my pants break? My pants were iron. There actually is a strong chance that maybe my pants broke in that fight. There is a chance that my pants broke in that fight. Okay, so that might be gone. So I have my sword, my pickaxe. I didn't have a shovel. I've got my 2 buckets. I got my string. There's my torches. Yeah, I think that actually might be everything that I had on me. That might be everything I had on me. The only thing I'm missing is my pants. My pants might have actually been broken. I may have been wearing no pants. That actually seems likely. I only got 7 levels back. Oh my god. Actually, I should have been I should have been more careful. If I was gonna enchant a shovel, I actually should have been more careful because that sucks to lose all those levels. Didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about it. It's whatever. It's whatever. Look, it's fine. We'll get them back. There's an eyeball in here. We have access to, I think it's really far away into the north though. We have access to a spawner way up in the north. That would be a good experience farm. But it's way up in the north. I think it's really far away. Is that same Enderman still around? He should still have his damage. Yeah, you're still around. I'm still gonna fight you. This is for revenge now, buddy boo. Did I even get an ender pearl? Oh, you freaking turd. I didn't even get an ender pearl from you. Oh, you freaking turd. I should have known I was getting too close to being the doorstep, but I thought maybe he was spawning into my building behind me. I think they can do that. I think they can spawn into your houses. That is a thing, is it not? String can go into here. Andesite. And sandstone. Arrows. Oh yeah, my shield. I'm not wearing my shield. Put that on. There you go. That'll do. Since we did lose all those levels, we won't build the diamond shovel yet. But we will eventually. We'll just, because I do have a bunch of shovels there. We'll do that for now. Because if we can empty out that shovel chest, actually, I can probably reconvert my weapons and other tools to actually also carry shovels. And convert this chest into an extra junk drawer that can carry, like, maybe it'll be the drawer that keeps my andesite, diorite, and granite. Because those 3 I kind of lump together into one thing. So that actually might work out pretty well. We'll burn through those stone shovels. Keep doing our thing. Eventually, we'll get a high enchanted diamond shovel, maybe a diamond axe. Eventually, we have a toolsmith somewhere. He probably sells that stuff too that we can manipulate with emeralds eventually. So eventually we'll probably manipulate that with emeralds as well. So it's really not, it's not that big a loss. It's just a little annoying that I let myself get killed by that Enderman. Just a little annoying that I did that, but it is what it is. Did I finish digging all this out? Where was I going? Oh no, yeah, I was digging out this way. I used up the rest of my shovels. So I actually, right now, I can stop digging and do some bucketing right now. Actually, let's put a couple of these shovels away and do some bucketing. Maybe now is the time to bucket. Now is the time that we bucket. It's gonna be a little bit of a thing, a little bit of a to-do. We'll start from the sides so that it's easier to reach infinite sources of water. And then we'll let it kind of flow in. Yeah, it looks like my water in the middle actually is connecting up with the waters on the sides pretty well. Yeah, nice. It's the benefit of having water only one deep anyways. Oh yeah, that all filled up perfectly. Nice. I love it when that happens. Have you seen my spell suggestion? Is it the JoJo one? I have not listened to it yet. I think I saw it. But I was just out and about, and so I was on Discord for a second, and I think I saw it, but I have not actually listened to it. I think it was the one that was like, take my hamon or whatever it is. I've not listened to it yet. But I will add it to my list so that I can add it real soon, because I haven't added any yet, but I owe you guys like a new 12 spells now. So I will be adding a ton, so that one will probably be one of them. Unless for some reason I listen to it and there's like, for some reason I don't want it to be one, which I doubt, but I always reserve the right to turn down a spell suggestion. Obviously. I have not had one yet that I've turned down, but I always reserve that right. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine though, but I've not listened to it yet. Cat is trying to swim. You are not a water cat, cat. You are a land cat, as is most cats. Oops, that didn't work. That is not working. Oh, there we go. There we go. Watering it up. Is it dark out? Oh, it's just thunderstorming. I'm like, is it nighttime yet? It's like dark, but definitely not dark. It's dark, but not dark. Not dark, dark, just dark. Not dark, dark. I think I have a little bit of water missing in the middle here. I do. I think that's right over our sections here, which maybe I should fill in. I don't know how I'm gonna put water like on top of that section. I guess I should fill that in with sand or something. I don't have any on me right now, so we'll come back to that. It's just a whirlpool, and it's just a whirlpool in our canal right now. The JoJo one, yeah, I'll have to listen to it. Graceland Herbivore, hey, welcome to this channel. I'm so glad you can make it. Can Minecraft cats swim? It looks like they can at least definitely swim through one deep water blocks, which I assume means they can swim through any water. I don't know if how well they would survive an ocean or not, but welcome back, Or. How do you feel about the 24-hour stream after looking back at it now with enough rest? There's still a lot more that I want to reflect on with that stream. Someone was actually asking me today. Who was it? Who was asking me that? Someone on Discord. I immediately forget now. It's on Discord. They were asking about the 24-hour stream, why they can't watch it right now, which right now they can't watch it because YouTube's actually still processing it. Something that a lot of you might not know if you're not creators that stream on YouTube. Streaming on YouTube, every time you stream to YouTube, after the stream ends, there's a brief period of time where people can still watch the last 2 hours of your stream for a little while. It's the YouTube DVR, which I can actually turn off if I wanted to, but I don't. And you can still watch it for a little bit of time while it processes it. And but then eventually, if it's a really long stream, eventually it doesn't hold on to that DVR information for very long. And then if the YouTube video is still processing, then it all stays private until YouTube's done processing it. I'm not entirely sure what YouTube does to the video while it's processing it. I'm sure a large part of it is it literally like inspecting the stream for copyrighted content, compressing down the video and all that stuff. And while it's doing that, the video's on private. So someone was asking me why they couldn't watch the stream anymore right now, because there was stuff that they wanted to go back and watch. And I was explaining that right now you can't because YouTube's still processing it, and it's going to take forever. YouTube takes forever to process a video of any length, really, let alone a 24-hour one. It takes forever. It'll be in processing limbo for a while. But I was just talking about how I'm not entirely sure with the way, for starters, the less innocuous stuff. When I took my nap in the morning and there was like no actual worthwhile content happening on the stream for, you know, an hour and a half or whatever. Stuff like that, I would probably want to edit out of the video. If I can edit the video, I think I can. So I might want to edit that out. And there's stuff in the stream that I think I might sort of tweak with and kind of tweak with the flow of the video of the stream entirely. And the person on Discord was kind of explaining, you know, like, well, then it won't be a 24-hour stream anymore. Well, it was a 24-hour stream, but I might not want it to be a 24-hour video. I might put up like a highlights thing or something like that. I'm not sure. I am not sure what I want to do with that, with the video of that yet. We did the stream, and that's great. Even if the video isn't 24 hours, we did do the stream. The stream was 24 hours, and you can't take that away from me. But I might want to tweak with it a little bit before I actually release it. But that's the thing. I'm still digesting how that 24-hour stream went. Something I've definitely learned about how I ran that 24-hour stream is that I would want to do it very differently another time around. I'm not entirely against doing another one ever again, which it crossed my mind at one point in time. I'm like, do I ever want to do a 24-hour stream again? And I thought, you know, maybe I would, but I would run it definitely a lot differently. It would definitely be a lot more strictly scheduled. I would definitely be better prepared because of how my scheduling in real life went. And part of my scheduling in real life and part of my laziness, it was not well scheduled, not well thought out, and I would want to do it better justice another time around. And I would probably focus on incredibly fewer games for sure. So I still have some things to think about and reflect on that, but I would definitely go about it entirely different a second time around. You didn't know that about the processing? Yeah, it's something that doesn't come up incredibly often. The YouTube DVR doesn't usually get explained to people very well. If you're a creator, you might know vaguely of it, but it's like one setting that you usually turn on or off and then never mess with ever again. They should update the cat where if it's in water, it jumps out, where it tries to like avoid water. That could be annoying if you're trying to like traverse like through a swamp or something with a lot of water. And, you know, if you're keeping your cat on you because you're trying to like fight creepers or whatever, that might be annoying. But like, I guess that would just make, you know, that would just be an environmental hazard. So I think that would be kind of cool. MagicManMo Joe's monologue with his other self. Look, part of me is like, technically speaking, I can't prove that J. Josh isn't, you know, I can't prove that J. Josh is MagicManMo Joe. But there is enough circumstantial evidence that no matter what happens from here on out ever, I can't ever trust that that is a separate person. Especially with so many people that do routinely flaunt the fact that they own multiple accounts, multiple alternate accounts, and that kind of thing. And do that. I was actually thinking about that today a little bit, not just the Music Man Joe thing, but the entire premise behind having multiple and alternate accounts in general is kind of irksome. Like, I know for a fact, I know people have used their multiple accounts to, like, for example, subscribe to me multiple times, for example. On the one hand, you know, it's, if you don't know about it, if I don't know that I'm being subscribed to multiple times by one person, seeing that subscriber count bump up can be kind of like a boost, like, oh, look, a new person subscribed to me today, and that's always exciting, but then it takes away all the excitement when you find out, oh, no, it's just someone I already know, but it's an alternate account. Oh, so no one new discovered me. Oh, that sucks. So alternate accounts as a content creator and as a streamer is actually really irritating. I get why some people do it, I guess, but I feel like some people do it for the wrong reasons. Making multiple accounts for like multiple egos or something like that, to have multiple personalities, or to like increase their anonymity to, you know, do weird stuff online. Because again, trolls and general bad actors use alternate accounts all the time, so that if one account gets banned on a channel, they can just join in with a different account. So trolls and stuff like that do that kind of maneuver all the time, which, by the way, full disclosure, is not what I'm accusing Music Man Joe of necessarily doing.
Why are we still here?
Why are we still here?
Just to
Why?
suffer.
But just the whole Roblox voting thing that happened, I mean, it's manipulation, and it's just it's unfair, and it hurts. It hurts the like the integrity of what I was trying to do, which is a little offensive. And then the fact that, so like, if J Josh is Music Man Joe, the fact that he thinks he can still, like, that he's willing to have an entire fake conversation with himself on Discord to try to prove himself to be authentic, the fact that he'd go through that much effort and that many loops to still try to maintain a lie is really offensive. And I don't like that at all. I can't technically prove that J Josh specifically isn't a real person. Maybe the other 5 were alternate accounts and that one's not. Maybe. Could be. I don't know, but, you know, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Staying up that late makes me feel exhausted for a few days. Yeah, no, I accomplished, like, nothing today. I got, like, there's stuff I wanted to do today, but I just did nothing today. I just stayed in, for sure. Race fan, you're not new. Successful play. Jessica, welcome to the stream. I'm so glad you had a successful play. Understand how that's irritating. It is. It really is. Same thing with, like, and I'm not sure who all's in charge of the alternate accounts. Like, there's a few Undertale related accounts that I know always end up appearing on my channel when I stream Undertale, for example. The Fell Sands and the different, I don't know, Candy Cane Sands and all those. I don't know whose accounts those all belong to, if that's one person or if that's an alternate account of someone else that stays here and they switch. I'm not entirely sure. But that kind of thing usually just confuses and frustrates me because I just know it's the same person, and it inflates my perception of how many people are watching and I'm interacting with. I mean, can you imagine trying to have a conversation with someone online, with multiple someones? Like, can you imagine having a conversation with what you think is like 2 or 3 other people, only to find out later it's been the one person the entire time? But you don't know that for a long time. So in your head, you're forming relationships with multiple people, how you interact, what you remember about them, and that kind of thing. In your head is multiple people. And then you find out later you've been catfished, basically, and it's been one person the whole time. It feels so manipulative. And it's just really irritating, and it just adds to how much mental loops and how much mental work I have to perform to keep track of who's who, to be able to do what I want to do, and that is interact with everybody. I get it. Some people really get a kick off of like role playing as another person or something in comments on YouTube and in chats. I know people get a real kick out of that, but especially when people actively switch back and forth between those accounts to interact with the same one person in the same session, it's actually really frustrating. I'm not here to tell you what to do and what not to do, but I'm just telling you my side of it, the way I look at it, the way I perceive it, on my end. I still need to make some pants. I'm sure I have a spare pant. I'm sure I have spare pants in my armor somewhere. I do. I even have some golden protection too. Sure, it's enchanted. Why not? We'll wear it. It's enchanted. We'll wear it. That's the way I see it. That's the way I go about it. Because as someone with multiple accounts, because I have multiple channels, as someone with multiple accounts, I have one account that I use when I'm on YouTube myself. When I'm on YouTube myself, when I'm watching YouTube, when I'm leaving comments, when I'm interacting, I'm always on the MagicManMo channel. That's my main channel. That's the one that I use the most. That's the one that I always go to. I'm never switching between them for any reason ever to leave comments or whatever. Like, ever. That has just never crossed my mind. I have my main account that I use all the time for my personal stuff, which so happens to actually be this one, the MagicManMo one. People who cheat the system are kind of flattering in a way if they care enough to go that far. In a way, I see what you mean with, like, it depends. It can be flattering, but I think a lot of people end up doing it for the attention more than it is to help. So yeah, I like what you're saying, like try to look at it at the positive side, but I think a lot of people try to do it for the attention, like the rush of adrenaline for getting announced as a new viewer or something. Like, can you imagine watching a stream and I get a new, someone subscribes with their alternate account, and I get that notification over my head that's like, oh, this new person subscribed, and I get all excited, and I'm like, oh, welcome to the stream, hello. In my mind, I think I'm meeting someone new for the first time, and I'm really excited about that, and then someone tells me, oh no, it's just my alternate account, it's actually this other person. It's like, oh, hi. Because I'm not really in it for the numbers game. Like, I don't. Yeah, a higher subscriber count is neat, but it doesn't. If I have 2,500 subscribers, okay, that's a cool number. But if there's 2,500 alternate accounts for just one person, if it's secretly one person, that's not a good number. It's terrible. I don't really care about, like, just the number aspect of it. It's how many people I'm actually reaching, how many people I'm actually meeting, how many people are, that are unique, how many unique people. If it's all the same person, I get the whole, like, if it's done with the intention of being helpful, like, oh, I'm trying to help you grow your subscriber count to make your channel look more, like, look bigger and more respectable and all that kind of stuff. It's great if it's coming from a place of good intentions, but I think sometimes people do it, and maybe it's a mix of both. I think some people do it for that rush of adrenaline of getting that announcement, that rush of adrenaline of getting some attention of me paying attention to a new person, and then of course the attention of pretending to be a character or something, and getting a kick off of, like, fooling me or getting me because it's like, oh, I'm secretly this other person, but MagicManMo doesn't know yet. That's that, like, edge of manipulation to it, which is like what we were getting with the Roblox voting. So, like, if the person doing it is getting something out of it, they're not really doing it for my benefit. They're doing it for their own benefit. Like with the Roblox voting in the polls, if MagicManJoe decides that they want to, like, get all their alternate accounts in so that they can get their way every single time in a Roblox vote, that's manipulation. That's not for my benefit, and that's not flattering. That's them being selfish to get their way. It's never been flattering. You know what I mean? I see what you mean with, like, just the numbers game aspect of it, but I don't care about my subscriber count if it's just a lot of the same person. I've never cared about the count. I mean, we have goals and milestones related to the count, but, like, if one person has 10 alternate accounts on my, like, subscribe to me, I don't really want to find out, because that's kind of a bummer, because that's 9 or 10 fewer people than I thought I was actually reaching. Don't get me started on the whole concept of internet trolling. Yeah, I'll never understand what people get out of that. And I hate to assume it's young age, too. I hate to assume that. It could be, but I hate to assume that that's the whole reason for it. And, like, yeah, like, it's one thing if you have multiple accounts and they have multiple purposes. I get it. Like, I have multiple accounts because I have multiple channels. That's what I do. Oof, oof, I don't know if you're using the butterfly effect correctly there, actually. The butterfly effect refers to making a tiny change that drastically changes the outcome of a future event. So usually you see the butterfly effect when you're talking about time. If you changed one tiny tiny little innocuous thing in the past, it would have drastic consequences on the future. That's how the butterfly effect is usually implemented. I'm not sure how you're using it. And yeah, Racing Fan, I don't know how you use your accounts. I'm not trying to come after you. I actually I need to take some dirt with me because I kind of wanted to fill in some of this. I got to figure out how I want to, how do I want to, how do I want to, I need to clear up some space because I want to have my sugar cane over here. So yeah, let's do that. I got to clear up some space on the side of the river as well. We'll do that. Okay, cool. But yeah, I don't know how you use your accounts. I'm not coming after you. I'm not trying to say anything about you personally or specifically. And I don't even really want to come after Music Man Joe. I don't want anyone to say anything bad about him or anything like that. The only reason he gets brought up is because we had a whole discussion and dialogue about that yesterday on yesterday's stream. That's the only reason I bring that up. I don't want anyone to say anything bad about him. I don't want anyone coming after him. That's not appropriate, and that's not what I'm asking for. So that's the only reason why I even bring him in. I don't want to assume why anyone does anything. You know, you do what you do for whatever reason you do it. But the reason I bring it up is because I don't think it's often explained to those who do that what the perception of a creator or a streamer has on that. Like, I actually view alternate accounts very poorly. I was thinking about it today where I'm like, I was thinking, man, wouldn't it be nice if it was not allowed on YouTube to have multiple accounts? Like, if you weren't allowed to have it. Like, that would be really nice. Because then it's easier to keep track of who's doing what and when. Now, there's reasons to have it. And then I was thinking it would be nice to get rid of it. Like, if it was gone, I would not complain. But there's reasons for it. Like, for example, if you have multiple accounts because actually multiple people use your account. You know, so like if you have multiple accounts tied to the same email because you have a shared YouTube email or something like that. You know, maybe like a family situation. If you have a family that shares a single sign in, but you have multiple accounts for each family member. So like a family plan type of situation would make sense. A situation where like you have multiple channels makes sense. So like I have multiple channels. I don't necessarily want to have a separate email for each and every single one. I could. And that's part of the thing where I was thinking too, even if you wanted to have a YouTube-wide ban on multiple accounts for some reason, say you wanted to promote that, like I want to ban the ability to have multiple accounts on YouTube. Well, YouTube doesn't really have the power to accurately determine whether or not someone's just using another email. If someone used a different email and made a new sign-in or whatever, that would effectively be creating an alternate account, but one that wouldn't necessarily be detectable by Google or YouTube. So it's not like you could really protect yourself against that. So it's like, I mean, you really couldn't get rid of the idea of alternate accounts. You could discourage the spirit of it, but that's all you could really do. But I was thinking about that today. I literally was. I was thinking about that today. People get upset about my game and offer unfair criticisms, which are impossible to address. In the end, I have to think about how many hours they spent obsessing about it. Yeah, for sure. The way some people spend their time is mind-blowing to me sometimes. Even if they're negative or attention-seeking, it is one of those things you can't change, not worth getting upset over. Well, you try not to get upset over it because there's so little you can do about it, but I mean, that if they care so much to take it to that extent, it is flattering and that they care so much, even if it comes out as a negative. Not saying you should fully indulge them. So I'm going to disagree with you a little bit for devil's advocate on you, Grassland Herbivore. I'm going to disagree with you a little bit and say, yeah, you could say it's flattering that they care so much that they put all that time and effort into it. But they might also not care so much as they might actually just be obsessive. So they could be displaying an obsessive behavior where actually instead of caring, it's not so much that they care about your content, they just care about getting what they're thinking in their heads out into the world. You could be displaying obsessive behavior as opposed to actual caring behavior. And I think that there is a difference there. I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not sure how you would describe that difference in terms of where that comes from in a mental space. because I think I see that on the internet in general, not necessarily YouTube, but in general on the internet, especially when you talk about complaints and criticism, where people often leave feedback that is extremely harsh, or at least extremely hyperbolic, that is just extreme in nature. And a lot of the defense you get from individuals that do something like that is that, oh, well, you know, I'm just trying to help. Well, yeah, but you're also being extremely harsh. And some people try to hide behind the, well, some people need tough love, or some people need harsh criticism if they're going to expect to get, you know, to get any worthwhile truth out of it or whatever. Okay, I understand that excuse, but at the end of the day, are you being harsh because you think you're being helpful, or are you being harsh because if you claim you're being helpful, you can get away with being mean? Because some people just get off on being mean, and you can't tell me that's not true. Some people just get off on making people miserable, knowing that they can affect someone so severely that they have the power to ruin someone's day. Some people get off on having that kind of power, and you can't convince me otherwise on that. And if you claim that you're doing it from a place of good, oh, I'm just doing this to be helpful, or you just need tough love. If you claim that, then you can make it difficult for the person that's essentially being victimized to defend themselves. Now, is that necessarily a conscious behavior on the act of the, if it's, for lack of a better term, the aggressor, for the person leaving the aggressive comments or whatever the case might be, whatever the case-by-case scenario might be? Is that necessarily a conscious decision on their part? Maybe not. That's why I say I'm not a psychologist. It's possible that that's built from a series of subconscious behaviors or mannerisms that would be difficult to address without the actual seeking of aid from a psychologist, from a trained therapist, from a professional that could identify that and identify the root cause of it. I think unfair criticisms that are obsessive and lengthy in nature don't necessarily have to be flattering and positive. So if you get extreme negative criticism, you could try to look on the bright side of it for your own personal well-being, but I'm not going to accept the fact that they're coming from a positive place as a default stance. I hope that made sense. Yeah, Jessica, do you know what your next play is going to be? I'm sure that's like a year away, right? Do you only do them once a year? Yeah, the calling out thing, usually online, if you're looking at comments and stuff, you don't really want to call people out because you could just exacerbate the problem. So yeah, the calling out thing is very tricky to do and very hard to handle well, so usually it's best to avoid entirely, which sucks because then there's no personal growth on either side. But on discussions and like forums and stuff online, how much personal growth can you really expect to develop in a conversation online, like on Twitter or something? You're not going to tweet something at someone and have like an actual logical debate that results in actually anything worthwhile half the time if you're arguing. In the light of this realization, can we trust any of the voting in the community tab? That is disturbing. It is. It's very disturbing. In fact, on Roblox, which I don't want to talk too much about Roblox on non-Roblox streams, but because this is relevant to the conversation. But like, I was just talking about this to myself. Yeah, that's right. Talking to myself about this today is I'm not gonna have a polling in Roblox anymore. And how I'll handle polling on community tab posts, I'm not sure yet, because I still want to be able to do that. But definitely not Roblox anymore. Definitely, I will be setting the schedule for what's going to be played and when, and we are not doing that on the fly anymore. It can't be trusted, and frankly speaking, it's actually too stressful for me to manage. It's too stressful for me to try to manage what's going on all the time when we're doing that, and I think it creates a worse stream experience for everyone. So there won't be any of that on Roblox anymore. The community tab is concerning because I do want to still be able to do that on the community tab. I do think it's less likely to have voter fraud, essentially voter fraud on the community tab, because you're not getting the attention for it, right? When, if you're doing a poll of some kind live on a stream, you do get the attention and acknowledgement of the streamer, usually, for a winning vote. And if you were the one in charge of why that vote won, you're kind of, in a weird way, getting a part of that acknowledgement, part of that attention for, oh, I'm the one that made that happen. So again, psychologically speaking, even if that's not a conscious decision, it is still kind of attention seeking in a lot of ways. Or not in a lot of ways, but in some ways rather. because I don't want to accuse anyone of doing something that they're not necessarily doing, but I could see how that would happen. So in the community tab situation where I can't acknowledge those who actually did the voting, it's probably less likely, but still entirely possible, still entirely doable. So that is concerning, and the only way to combat that really is, say, if I was a really big YouTuber with lots of subscribers, like if I put a poll out on YouTube and it got like 10,000 votes, it's less likely that people with alternate accounts are making as big a difference as it is if you're a small channel that got 10 votes and you find out 5 of them were one person. You know what I mean? So if I was much, much, much bigger, it'd probably actually be a much smaller problem, even though there'd be more people probably doing the fraud. It probably wouldn't be the most people in general, which is why, since I'm not huge, that's why this is such a problem for me now. This is why this is such a problem for me now, and why it weighs so much on my mind, because for someone as small as I am, it actually does make a big deal to those who actually are trying to vote and enjoy the streams and be a part of the community. Everything's being dictated by 1 or 2 people. That's actually very problematic. Since I am so small, it's easy enough to sway a vote. So it is important to keep in mind that it actually is important. And I was thinking about that. Racing fan, you're heading out. Well, if you're still here and you haven't already left, thank you for watching the stream for as long as you did. Thank you for checking in. I hope to see you in future ones. There's also some political stuff going around. Some Chinese communists take criticism poorly. Multiple accounts help anonymity. I would say that it's not, you don't, hang on, start over brain. It's not necessarily about the Chinese or communism or anything like that. There is good reason to try to protect your anonymity online, and if you believe having multiple accounts can protect your anonymity, and when you're chatting about things, that's a good thing. For example, if you're living, this is literally the first example that came to my mind. I was reading a story about this not crazy long ago, but it's been a while. But say you live in a country where being gay is so illegal you could be killed for it, and you have an account on YouTube or something that kind of insinuates that you might be gay, or people are starting to accuse that account might be held by a gay man or something like that. Well, you can create another alternate account that's like clearly a straight man, and that way you can have anonymity to say, okay, that account doesn't belong to me. My account is this other account. There's literally life and death reasons out in the world to have multiple accounts. Literally life and death reasons to have it, which is terrifying, sad, and sickening. But that's why I try not to judge people for having multiple accounts. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do. For me, it just depends on the intention and the purpose and the reasoning for it. And I try not to, like, if I ever find out like someone has a second account, like if any of you watching right now has one, I'm not going to think any less of you, so long as you're not using it to troll me or manipulate me or lie to me. You know, just don't worry about it. Do what you got to do if that's what you got to do. There's so much. The world is so complicated. And when you do talk about politics too, even if it's not like communism, even democracy, if you're in a foreign state where, you know, maybe free speech and free thought is highly frowned upon, and you're if you're pro-democracy, pro-republic, pro maybe socialism, pro whatever you might be, but that just happens to not be what the government holds, and the government has strict laws about what you can talk about or before, yeah, you want to protect your anonymity, absolutely. The world is not easy, so I get it on some level. Monologuing. Grease 1. I actually have I seen I think I have seen Grease. I've seen one of the Greases. I've seen a version of Grease. I don't remember which one. It's been a while though. It's been years. If you put yourself out there, it's a tough one. Yeah, anyone in the public sphere, if you put yourself out there doing anything, you're gonna interact. You're gonna find yourself interacting with people in ways that people who don't create content online wouldn't have to, if that makes sense. So since I'm live, like I'm streaming this live, if I say something out loud live, I can't, like, edit it out. It's too late. You have to be very conscientious about what you say, or just choose not to care. But you have to be very conscientious about what you say, because if you don't get it right the first time, it's hard to go back on it. And the bigger your audience becomes, the more true that becomes. The bigger your audience is, the faster information can travel and can be taken in any number of ways, in any number of directions, if that makes sense. So there's that. So that's why like when I'm monologuing, I try to think through very heavily what I'm saying and how it's going to be taken. I try to do that on some level, but of course I'm not writing it down. I'm not going to be able to proofread everything I say. So I can only hope that when I say the stuff I've been saying here lately, that you guys understand that where I'm coming from is just from a place of me trying to do my best to entertain and create content. And then when I criticize anyone for any reason, it's coming from a place of just frustration for me to try to make that happen, to make that accomplish. Not that I'm coming after anyone personally. I'm not coming after anyone personally. I don't know any of you personally. I know as much about you as you're willing to share with me online, which, by the way, I don't ask any of you to share any more than you're comfortable with. You don't want to talk about something, don't talk about it. If I ask you a question live and you're like, I don't want to talk about it, I respect that. You don't ever have to talk about it ever. You don't even have to talk online if you don't want to. I respect that. Me, I choose to put a lot of myself out there because I'm streaming and I talk about myself. I talk about games. I talk about all this sort of philosophical stuff live. It's tricky, it's dangerous, and because it is live and because I do make videos, I do hold some sway and level of power. I'm like the Jesus Christ, you got me on that. You got me. I thought I was about to explode. I do hold some level of power over what gets talked about and who I acknowledge and that kind of thing, because I hold the position of streamer, and I try to be very conscientious about that. I'm a little way behind on chat, by the way. Normal Minecraft stream becomes a discussion. It does. Well, you have to have interesting conversation in single player Minecraft, because it's just the me show. I don't do a multiplayer, and when I say multiplayer, I mean I don't have like a second personality with me. I'm not like the Game Grumps or the Yogscast or something where, I've got someone else to talk to in the same room to share stories with. I just have you guys. So I take what you're chatting about, what you're talking about, what I think you'll be interested about, what's interesting me at any given point in time, and I just run with it, man. So sometimes it gets deep. Sometimes we get deep, sometimes we get silly. You never quite know what direction we're going to go, but you got to keep it interesting somehow. Monarchy over democracy, long live the glorious reign of Mo. I don't want to be your king. I want to be your lord. No, I'm just, I would not trust myself with monarchical power. with high dictatorial or monarchical, is that a word, monarchical? If you're king, I would not trust myself with that level of power. There needs to be checks and balances. President Mo will do just fine. I'm not leaving. This is important. You're starting this coming month? Oh, really? That's a quick turnaround. Yeah, get Devlin in. He can play something. I don't know what you guys are going to do in Greece, but do it. It's good that you share your thoughts. We're all on your side here. And it's kind of nice to verbalize it, as long as it doesn't get too misconstrued or whatever. It helps to verbalize your thoughts out loud, because that really helps you figure out what sounds stupid and what doesn't. Because sometimes when you just think things to yourself, you make a lot of assumptions to yourself that aren't necessarily true in real life, and you don't realize that you don't believe what you're saying, or not, at least not fully, until you've said it out loud, and you're like, well, that's not quite what I meant, or that's not quite how I actually feel about this. How can I explain this in a better, more accurate way? It's actually a really good exercise. Even if you don't want to make videos online or something like that, you might try it sometime. If you're ever trying to actually like try this, if this might interest you. If you ever have a really strong opinion about like a political stance, or maybe it's just something silly like a video game stance, or you have a strong opinion about something that you think you might argue about with someone, at some point in the future, not necessarily maliciously, not like angry argue, but like you want to defend a point, right? Like you have a point to make and you want to defend your side on something. Record yourself talking about it. Record yourself trying to actually convince an invisible, make-believe person in the room about your point of view, your stance on a topic. Record yourself doing it and listen back to it. Like, watch yourself actually try to debate your side of things, and try not to doze off. Try not to snooze off. Try not to think about what you meant to say. Try not to focus on that. Listen to what you're actually saying, as if you're a completely different person, as if you're hearing it for the first time from this other person, which is the recorded version of yourself. And what you'll probably find out, unless you happen to be really eloquent, what you'll find out is that you do not actually explain things and debate things very well. I see it from random strangers all the time on social media, for example. All of you, I'm sure, have seen it on social media, where people think they're making really dope slams and like really explaining themselves well and really slamming home their side of the argument, and you from the other side, you're like, this person doesn't sound like they have any idea what they're talking about. And sometimes that might be you, and you don't even know it. You don't know it until you've like recorded it yourself and like looked back at it, or you've had some really honest friends tell you how stupid you sound. One way or the other. There's nicer ways to say you sound stupid if you do in fact sound stupid. There's nicer ways to say it, but it would take a really honest friend to actually tell you that. Because in my experience, friends tend to have your back no matter what you say, no matter how stupid what you say. Maybe they won't agree with you, but they might not disagree with you. And that's the point where you're like, I think my friends are just being really nice and are too afraid to tell me that my side of my argument sounds ridiculous. So unless you have some really honest friends, some really harshly honest friends, go back. Like, if you can record, a lot of people have smartphones. Everyone has like a phone anymore. Record yourself making an argument or talking about a topic that you're really passionate about, and it helps. Me talking on YouTube and making Let's Plays and just generally talking forever has made me a much more eloquent speaker, I believe. I absolutely believe that. I've always had a passion and a liking for writing, and I believe that when I actually put the effort into writing an argumentative piece, I have been complimented on my writing. I can write really well, but writing has the benefit of having a lot of time to put into like your thoughts, like what you're thinking about, your discussion, making your points. You can edit your writing. When it comes to talking, when it comes to speaking, when it comes to being eloquent, and you're doing that on the fly, it is a challenge, and more so than I think some people give it credit. That was another long little thing. Let me see if I can catch up on chat, by the way. Never gets old. Well, MagicManMo, would you have figured out MagicManMo was using alts if I wasn't here? I had my suspicions before you mentioned it. I was just being nice and not talking about it, hoping it wouldn't become a problem. I was doing the... Oh, by the way, Rebecca Davis, if you're still here, welcome to the stream. I'm so glad you could make it. I had my, I believed that for a little while, but I didn't want to say anything out loud because I wanted more definitive proof. And it was a case of, I was hoping maybe if I ignored it, the problem would go away. That is a terrible position to make, by the way. You should never ignore your problems hoping it'll just go away. I wasn't consciously trying to ignore my problems till they went away, but that is what I was actually doing. I didn't realize that's what I was doing until I was already doing it. And by that point, it was kind of too late and becoming a problem, which is unfortunate. But sometimes that's just the way it is. Sometimes you don't realize what you're doing until you've already done it. Oh, I was trying to catch up on chat. I'm still way behind. I keep like answering one old chat and then like moving on. Wants to be Danny and Sandy. Gotcha. Rebecca said hi. Actually, I'm not that far behind. What if Botboy Barry was an actual character? Man, that would be top number one anime twist of all time, right? There's so little context in online comments and discussions. Most of those issues have been argued at essay length or in full books. Well, especially online, because people don't usually want to put the time and effort into writing lengthy things online, let alone people want to take the time to read lengthy things online if you're doing like a comment post or something like that. So yeah, you lose a lot of context and a lot of general Oh, it must have been my Fletcher. I thought I heard arrows, so I thought pillagers were showing up, but it must have been my Fletcher. Social media is completely vapid. Vapid? Vapid? I've always said vapid. No one's ever corrected me, but now I don't know. Interestingly enough, some people sound more eloquent when expressing themselves verbally, and they sound like a first grader in writing. Yeah, some people's writing skills are really poor. Really poor. So sometimes if you feel like you can speak more eloquently than you can write, do the other thing where practice writing your debates and then read them back, or have someone else read them if you can and critique your debates. But I feel like the speaking one, because writing, you have to actually write to practice. Speaking, I think some people fall into the trap of, oh, if I just talk to myself in a mirror or just talk to myself in an empty room, I'll hear myself and I'll get better. You really need to record yourself so that you can hear yourself from outside of your own head to get better. Speaking is, I think, a little trickier to practice. It doesn't seem like it should be, but it is. That's how I got better at being eloquent, is by making YouTube videos and listening to myself talk while editing. It's why I don't swear. As much as I possibly can, I try not to swear, because I found out that I swore a lot, and I was like, I'm just tired of hearing it. In real life, when I'm not making videos, I swear too much. I swear a lot. But I didn't do it in videos because I discovered that it's not eloquent. It's a lot. It's more vulgar than it ever needs to be. And I learned that. But that's one thing. Also, just language in general. I need to get better at us. I do a lot of stuttering, stammering talk, and that comes from the fact that there I am. I'm doing it right now. The need to fill air, the need to fill silence with sound, because I am constantly talking, trying to entertain people. I feel like I should be constantly talking to have some kind of conversation going, some kind of noise, something that I can add to the commentary and gaming that I'm doing. I just feel that need. It's like a pressure. It's highly pressurized, like a peer pressure type pressure, where I feel like I have to be constantly talking, or no one's gonna find me entertaining. No one's gonna like me. No one's gonna like my video, my stream, or whatever. If I shut up, if I'm quiet for too long, it's gonna be terrible, and I hate it. So that's an internal monologue. When I'm quiet, when I stop talking and I'm spacing out, you better believe almost 100% of the time in the back of my head, there's an internal monologue running that's saying, you need to be talking about something. You need to be talking about something. You're boring everyone. Everyone hates you. Everyone hates you. You're boring. That's the internal monologue, where you have to shove that in the back and say, no, it's okay to be quiet for longer than 5 seconds on a stream or a video. It's okay. It's okay. You can relax and gather your thoughts for a moment. It gets to you a little bit. I'm out of water. I'm out of agua. You can express yourself much better in written language. I realize that as I'm grading papers these days, some students constantly make excellent points in class, but their writing is bad. Yeah, it just takes loads of practice, and it takes honest critique, not malicious, not malicious critique, not overly harsh critique, not being mean, not tough love, just honest critique, just honest language. Just, hey, you need to work on this, that, or whatever. Especially in a class setting, because it is actually the job of your instructors and peers to try to help everyone grow and learn. It should never come from a place of malice or attention seeking or anything like that. When you're talking about online, the reason people critique people online can be a lot more dubious, but in a class setting, it should always come from an honest place of growth, is where it should be coming from. Now, you can just have bad people, just bad teachers or bad peers that, of course, have ulterior motives for what they say and do. That can always happen, but in general, that's what you're kind of going for. It's getting dark again already. How many shovels do I have? I just have the rest of this one? Okay. Some students are the other way around, where they're very eloquent in writing, but not so much in speech. And again, a lot of your really eloquent writers are really bad at speaking their ideas because they're just quiet people in general, so they don't get a lot of that practice speaking. They don't get to practice speaking their thoughts very much. They much prefer writing it down because they have the chance to edit and get all of what they're saying just right. And I get that. I feel that. I can feel that deep down. I was a quiet one once upon a time. Until one day I decided I wanted to be loud and argue with everyone always, forever. At one point in time, I became the student that I'm sure teachers got annoyed by, that I would always try to correct teachers and be a little too much. Several famous writers relied upon liquor. Now compare that to a drunk trying to make a point in person. I would actually disagree with you very heavily on that. A lot of great writers that attribute their writing to liquor have misattributed what they've done. Usually you don't have good writing when you're drinking or drunk. Usually you get inspiration for good writing when you're drunk, maybe because you freed your mind or whatever. I don't recommend it because you also get a lot of really bad ideas out of that you just think are good because you're drunk. Some people have taken snippets and notes that they've taken while inebriated or under some kind of influence, have taken notes, and then later when they're sober tried to parse some of those notes into inspiration that they then use. But you don't need to rely on substances or substance abuse to actually have good ideas. Usually the only thing you need to do is something unusual. If you're looking for inspiration and don't want to become a substance abuser, do something you don't usually do. Do you take walks? Go on a walk. If you don't usually walk, go on a walk. Actually, getting some free air, some extra air is really good. Do you listen to music like all the time? Turn it off. Go completely quiet for a while. Your brain will be so mind-numbingly bored, you will have so many ideas. Do you watch movies or watch YouTube all the time? Read a book. Do something unusual, something that you just don't ever do. You'll get ideas. Your brain will come up with some wild things. No, I don't actually know those songs off the top of my head, Jessica. It's been too long. MagicManMo is like an anime villain that let the hero grow stronger and defeated him, but it's reverse. Is that an anime supervillain that waits for the hero to get weaker and then defeats them? I would so love to be an anime villain. If I was in an anime, if someone's like, MagicManMo, I want to put you in an anime, I absolutely want to be the villain and not the hero. Is that wrong? Is that bad? I absolutely want to be the antagonist. I want to be the guy that like puts people down. Oh, that would amuse me so much more. People also get weird when you use literary vocab in person. They feel that it is pretentious. Yeah, there's actually a literary term for that in discourse, but the word eludes me right now. I can't think of what it is, but it's just as legitimate. But when you speak at a higher education level than whatever your colloquial level is, you can often put on airs that you're putting down the person you're talking to. So when you're speaking at a higher elevation, it can sound like, especially if you intentionally use big words, that if the other side feels like, okay, you're using those words to try to confuse me, just speak plainly. You can talk about really highly educated topics, really complex topics with very plain language. You can do that. And in most cases, if you're having a colloquial conversation with just randos or your friends or whatever, do that. Have deep thoughts, have deep conversations in plain speech. It can be trickier if you're used to having higher educated conversations with maybe colleagues in a workplace or maybe your professors or something like that, to almost dumb down your language. But it's not really dumbing down. It's just a difference of education and a difference of jargon. For example, if a car mechanic started throwing jargon at me about engine parts and stuff, they'd lose me. They would completely lose me. I have no idea. I don't know jack about cars. But they can explain to me my mechanical errors and what's wrong with my car in plain speech that I can understand. They can do that. And they do, because if they just started throwing jargon at me, I'd be lost and confused, and I probably wouldn't pay for the replacement parts because I would feel like they're trying to pull something on me. It breaks trust when you try to speak over someone. So, and then at the same time, I also try not to talk up, like, I try also not to make people feel dumb by intentionally, like, baby talking myself. Like, just because, like, say I assumed all of you were young and uneducated and I'm, like, so much smarter than you. I wouldn't try to talk baby talk, like, oh, you wouldn't understand me if I didn't use dumb languages, all my syllables have to be less than 3 syllables or you won't understand me. That's really condescending. So when I talk to all of you, I use my plain speech. I don't know if that's higher or lower educated than what you're used to, but I use my version of my plain speech the way I normally talk when I talk to you because I respect all of your intelligences. If I find out that I'm speaking to one of you one-on-one and I think you can understand and would appreciate higher educated speech, I will try if I can to up my speech. If I think I'm going over your heads and I'm going too far and I'm using the like too complicated of a conversation, I'll try to lower myself just so I can be understood, not to dumb down anything, but just to be understood, to make communication clear. Because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to, and I think most of us, when we're trying to communicate ideas, that's exactly what we're trying to do, is communicate ideas. We're not trying to put anyone down, talk over or under people. There's a word for that. It's eluding me. There's a word for that. I don't think it's a literary term though. Actually, I think it's a pedagogical term, which is a fancy word for a teaching term. I think they use it in the study of pedagogy, and it's eluding me. I'm pretty sure there's a word, or maybe it's just a concept. Maybe it's not a word. Maybe it's a concept. It's eluding me right now. I can't think of what it is. But it's like discourse or something. We're not bored, but I think that self-consciousness helps drive you, so that's a plus. I feel bad when I start talking too long and I start monologuing and I'm like literally not doing anything on screen because I'm so focused on what I'm thinking. You can articulate yourself very well, even with complex issues. I'm sure making YouTube videos improves that skill, but also you're a natural. Well, yeah, I've also done a lot of reading. If you want to work on your vocabulary and how eloquently you can speak, read a lot. You will learn a lot new words that you don't maybe normally use in your day-to-day, but maybe you will start incorporating into your day-to-day. But yeah, making YouTube videos has helped me enunciate, to talk better. I still have a long ways to go with enunciation. I still think I'm kind of slurry. I think if you're used to listening to me, you can get away with it. But I think a newcomer, I speak a little quickly, I stammer and stutter a little bit, and I could enunciate my letterings and words a little bit better, especially my L's and R's. I used to have speech problems. I took classes as a kid all the way up to like the 6th grade, speech pathology, because I couldn't pronounce certain sounds. Like R's were really hard, Z's, TH's. Those were my big 3. I could not pronounce R's, Z's, or TH's. I couldn't do it. I couldn't Z, and I couldn't So that made it very hard. So I took a lot of speech classes, and I've made a long ways of improvement, but it took a long time. It took a long time to get to where I even am now. And it's a continual development. It's a continual cycle. Like, you don't stop practicing that. You don't stop speaking, really. But yeah, come a long ways. Do heroes or villains have a harder life? That's an interesting question. Depends on the backstory. A lot of times, villains are portrayed as people that actually have it very easily because they have ready access to materials. But a lot of villains also don't have access to the materials they use to do their evilness. So they have to actually have a pretty terrible life to have gotten to the point where they've become evil villains. It depends on what kind of villain you're talking about. Some sort of like a Marvel super villain from space that's basically always had everything and their life is actually pretty easy. They're just trying to conquer the world or destroy it. Or if it's like some kind of DC Joker type villain where they actually had to like get everything themselves and they clearly must live some sort of psychotic lifestyle that no one would ever want to emulate because, oh my God, how did you become that type of person? Whereas heroes, depending on the story, sometimes heroes are just granted and gifted their natural abilities and they just have it. And yeah, they have to do what they do, and that's hard or whatever. But it's kind of like the difference between Superman having superpowers versus Batman, who had to like literally master every martial art over the course of like a decade of like intense training and learning. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like I mentioned Batman, a lot of people give Batman a lot of like, oh, well, he was just rich, so he gets all his gadgets. He's not a superhero. He's had it so easy. It's like, that's not even true. Especially depending on what canon you're talking about, he's actually mastered in comic book canon, he's mastered every single martial art from intense training. He did not get that by being rich. He put in time and effort. He's not like people oversee all of his actual effort and work because he's got money. So again, it's not about money resources necessarily. Sometimes it's just about like what you had to do to get to be a hero or a villain that makes your life harder or easier. Of course, if you could, in real life, if you're gonna be a villain or a hero, I suggest be a hero, help people. It's not worth being mean or evil to people. Working for short gain will never top the growth and development of working to actually create a community. Dumbing it down can be condescending as well. Yeah, you try not to dumb it. You don't dumb it down, but you have to speak on a level that can be understood by both sides. We need a wizard king / god title. What, for mana? Oh, guys, you don't know all the titles. That's not the title, but there is. The very last title, the highest level you can get with the mana titles is level 13. And it's pretty good. It's a pretty powerful title. I don't want to give it away because I'm like, maybe someone will get there one day. I doubt it. You need like a freaking trillion mana or whatever. I don't even remember what the number is, but it's absolutely ridiculous. There we go. I'm kind of widening these paths so that I have space to walk around the sugar cane. Like, is this wide enough? It's only 2 at its shortest. It's 3 at its longest, right? 1, 2. No, it's 2. It's actually just 2 every single time. Okay, perfect. Do I want to make it 3 wide? Because I think I made this 3 wide. Yeah, I absolutely did. 1, nope, 2, 3. Oh, this is 3 at its widest, but 2 at its shortest. Oh, I see. What is this at? This is 2 and 3. So yeah, I made that 3 at its widest. So this is just 2 every single time. 2, 2, 2. So this should be like 1 more wider, I think. 1 more wider? I know the 1 more part was talking about the numbers of spaces, but I guess it would be just 1 wide. This needs to be 1 wider. 1 more wider, sure. 1 wider. Words, am I right? That's how we should wrap up that entire conversation about eloquence. Words, man, they're hard. Sentences, grammar, speaking, communication. Communication is hard. It's also key. Communication is key, they say. But boy, is it also hard. And here we just about go. So this is, actually this is just 2 on everything. I need this 1 more wide as well. See, that time I said 1 more wide, and I did say 1 more wider. See, more wide would be okay, or just wider would be okay, but more wider, not so much okay. I'll come back and probably pick up all this coal too. Any accessible coal sticking out from the surface, I think I shall definitely collect at some point, since we are not swimming in coal as we used to be for a while. We need to collect a bunch more in case we need to melt a bunch of stone again or something. Because I burned through a lot of coal. We could also do like lava buckets or something, but that's kind of like a lot of work to move a lot of lava. If you're moving a lot of lava. I like to move a lot of lava from the nether. A lot of lava. Lava, lava, lava. Lava, 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 duck. How do you rank up? You have to get tons of mana. Your rank is based on how much mana you have. Do you ever think about going to grad school? It would depend on what I'm going for. I don't know. I don't know if that's in the books for me or not. Especially, it's such a hard thing, because part of me kind of wants to become like a full-time creative. Part of me wants to create... Part of me wants to like create content for people online that is freely accessible, like full-time. I've mentioned this before, And it keeps falling by the wayside because every time I go to work on it, I realize that it's not quite what I want, that the result isn't quite what I'm looking for. I keep talking about, it's been a while since I talked about, I want to create some kind of vaguely educational content on YouTube, is what I want to do. And I would like to start, I have an idea of how I'd kind of want to start a little bit, but I'm still working on it. I'm not going to talk about it too much right now, because I'm still experimenting with it. I did some work on it. I actually did some writing and some recording for it. And I didn't like the direction it was going on, so it's kind of in the drawing board stage again right now. But I want to create some content that would be vaguely educational in nature that I would create, and as if I could get it to take off, or if that itself didn't take off, if I could figure out some way to expand on it, I would like to have a series of either YouTube channels or some kind of accessible content online that is educational in nature, as opposed to entertainment in nature. Entertainment in nature is kind of like the Let's Play stuff I do. The Let's Plays and the video games, that's entertainment. That's fun. It's not worthless. Like, it's worth doing. Like, lots of people get something from it. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, about the escapism of providing this content, and I do think that that's valuable for people. But I also want to be an educator as well. And what that would look like, I'm not entirely sure how it would develop into, but I have an idea of how I might start, but I'm not there yet, so we'll see. So if I start going that route, grad school wouldn't necessarily be necessary, but if I don't go that route, if that doesn't happen, then I don't know. It depends on what I'm kind of up to, what I'm doing, what I kind of need with myself. There's so many resources and so many resources, sources of education accessible online that is just free to use, that, and there's plenty that isn't free to use. There's plenty that really high quality good stuff that you can pay for, but there's a lot of stuff out there, I think, that shouldn't be overlooked, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is that getting an education from a school is absolutely a great way to go, like getting like grad school or getting your regular school, whatever. There's, going to an institution of some kind, of building to get your education is a great place to get your education, because it's a center of minds, a center of the teaching profession, finding professionals, finding people in their field that know what they're talking about. Experts is the word I was looking at. I couldn't think of the word experts. There's experts in their fields, experts in their topics of knowledge. Great stuff. If I had to go to grad school, I wouldn't know what I'd go for yet. I don't know what I'd be looking for exactly. So it depends on what I'm going into. Depends on what I need. Imagine being so smart you know how many molecules are in your room. That's actually not that complicated of a calculation. You would have to make some assumptions about your room and some assumptions about the matter in your room, because it doesn't require being smart to measure the molecules. It would require the tools to do so, but it would be impractical to know the exact number of molecules in your room. That would be impractical. But based on what's in your room, of course, molecules are going to be changing quite a bit, because if you're talking about the air that you're like breathing or that's escaping out the window or through your door or whatever the case, some molecules are coming and going. But in general, if you actually take stock of everything in your room, which would be tedious, but you could physically do it. If you take stock of everything, make a note of everything, figure out the size and dimensions of everything, figure out what's in everything. Again, it would be tedious, but technically, with a few with some rounding and making some assumptions, you could get a rough estimate of all the molecules of all the material in your room. That wouldn't even require that much intelligence. You would just need to know how. You would need to know what calculations you need to make. You need to know your, where it gets complicated is where you say molecules. It would be one thing if you said atoms. Atoms would actually be a lot easier than molecules, because then you could break everything down into their base elements, and then you could just make a calculation based on atoms. Where it gets complicated is when you start thinking about molecules. So if I needed, this cup is made out of plastic, so if you were going to count the molecules in the plastic, you would actually need to know how many molecules would make it up based on its mass, how many how many elements you would. I don't know what plastic's made of. I'd have to look up the actual elemental formula. It's been chemistry. It's been a while since I did chemistry. Forgive me. You'd have to look up the actual formula for what makes up plastic and what specific plastic this is. And then based on its mass, determine how many of those molecules you'd expect to find in it. And then you basically have to do that with everything. So that's that. I've got some glass here. You'd have to figure out the molecules involved with glass. A lot of carbon. Almost, maybe even entirely carbon. I don't know about glass making. Glass is made of carbon. Which is an element and not technically a molecule. But again, I'm not entirely sure if glass is different. I have access to, in my room, to computers and the internet. So a lot of that stuff you might be able to look up. But not as complicated as you would think. Tedious, yes, but you could make an estimate. You could, especially if you relied on some estimations, you could do it mathematically speaking. So mathematically speaking, you could actually determine, based on what's in your room and the mass of everything, how many elements you expect to find, and then try to find, well, what's the most basic molecule I would expect to find in this room and its distribution, and the most massive molecule I would expect to find in this room and its distribution, and basically just average it out. And that would probably be the roughest average, but I mean, again, without just adding layers and layers and layers of tedium to your work, that would be one way to go about it. And I hope I'm not too far off the truth there. I'm not exactly a science YouTuber, and it's been a while since I've done my chemistry, but that would be the general idea. This is the other thing that would be terrifying for me. If I started doing educational... Is this a monologue? It's a little bit, kind of. That's the other thing. If I started doing educational content, that's the other thing that would be kind of terrifying, is actually trying to make sure you get everything right. Scripting would be something I'd have to be a lot more careful about. When you do entertainment, I can make stuff up on the spot because I'm just... None of this is... Like, everything I say is either opinion related or... story driven or whatever the case might be. It's none of anything I say here is like heavily fact checked, because I'm just coming up with it on the fly. It's like improv, right? If you do education and you want to do it right and you want to get it right, and you don't want to lead people astray, you need to do a little bit more work, a little bit more preparation to make sure you get everybody on the right track. And by little, I mean literally a lot, a lot more. All right, I got a bunch of sugarcane, and instead of taking it, I'm actually going to plant it. Sugar pie, honey bunch, you know that I love you. I just can't. I don't remember the words to that song. I really don't. I love you and nobody else. Bum, 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 bum. See, this is gonna be kind of nice, right? This is gonna look kind of nice, right? Oh, I can't put it on stone. I probably knew that at one point in time, but I did not think about it. I need to replace the stone with not stone. With something, anything. I did not grab another shovel because I didn't think I was going to need it. Set you over here. Let me just grab some random stuff from over here. Here, we'll go the other way for now. We'll fill up the other side. We'll have to replace wherever I'm putting sugarcane. I'll have to replace any stone or cobblestone or sandstone or whatever the heck with dirt and sand. We'll have to do that. Can't go on gravel either. Oh, I guess I can like literally just flop these around. Like that. I guess I can literally do that. Until I accidentally get some flint out of one of these. There we go. So this is a start. We've got our canal started. That took a lot longer time than I thought it probably would. Then again, I was a little less focused on doing the actual work, obviously. And I did a lot of dinking around. And of course, I did a lot of looking around and trying to assess dimensions of what size I wanted everything to be. But yeah, we've got the basic idea going, right? Let's go get a more aerial view. I'm running a little late on the stream. I did start about 5 minutes late, so I guess it's only fair that we're about 10 minutes late ending. I guess that's fair, right? Yeah. And once that grows up to be 3 tall, that'll look kind of neat down there, I think. Right? Maybe? Can you imagine actually lining up all... What the... Oh, that's the Fletcher. Can you imagine actually lining up the entire sides of the canal with bamboo instead of sugarcane? How tall that would get? That would actually look so dope. Like if you were riding your boat down the canal with just shoots of bamboo going up that crazy height that they go, like well, all the way over there. Then again, they're not as thick. They're a lot thinner, so it wouldn't be like a sheer wall of bamboo, but it would be pretty dope. That would be pretty cool. What if we added monologue to your name? Or no log, rather. MagicManMo. Where would you put the monologue? Would you just add it, or would you replace a word? Would you do MonologueManMo, or would you do like MagicManMo? Would you add it, or would you replace something? You've never been this quiet, Aaron Gaming? Is it just because you're so enraptured by what I'm saying? MagicManMonologue. Oh, because if you added no log to mo, so it'd be monologue. So instead of MagicManMo, I get it. So instead of monologue, it'd be monologue, which makes it sound like I'm moaning a log. Log. See, I'm moaning a log. We don't mind this extra content. Good. We could try surrounding it with bamboo and see how it looks. My only issue with that is that the entire premise of surrounding it with sugarcane is that sugarcane has to be next to water to grow. And so it's kind of like doubling as our sugarcane farm and our canal. So I still like the idea of it being sugarcane, but bamboo would be dope.
Is this the end?
It is. It is the end.
Brought me to this point. What abhorrent circumstances.
Maybe I should go ahead and get some watermelon while I'm here. I'm getting a little low on melon.
Is this the cruel, painful plan that was orchestrated by a malevolent deity? Who am I really? What purpose did I serve in this life that was granted to me? I suppose I'll never know. If this is what my life has led up to, and if this is truly the end, then I accept my fate.
I love the long version of that. It's so long. That's like a 41-second spell, by the way. It's the most expensive one we have. It's 410 mana to cast. It's crazy expensive. But like when I listened to that clip, because you guys, you're the guys that suggested that I add it. But I think you guys wanted just that suffer part. Like, why are we here just to suffer? And I added that, but I'm like, I also kind of want the entire thing, so I added both. Sugarcane would only go on the blocks next to the water, but there is still space for bamboo as well near the cliffside. That's true. We could double up the house, like the side. Axe on melon. I don't have my axe. I don't have my axe. I need to make an axe. I don't have it. I don't have it. Next time. Yeah, I have 103 spells. I owe you guys 12 more, but then again, starting tomorrow, because tomorrow's Monday. Every Monday you get a free one. So after tomorrow, I'll actually owe you 13. We don't have a stream tomorrow night because I will be busy with friends, but then we will be back on Tuesday. I will be making the schedule, so check out my channel. I don't know why it's not showing up. Oh, no, it's not spells, it's spell book. That's right. Even I forget sometimes. It's spell book, not spells. But no stream tomorrow, but then I will be making a schedule tomorrow on my channel, so look out for my channel for what streams to expect coming up, Tuesday through Sunday, for this next coming week. I've got some decisions to make based on my 24-hour stream I did yesterday. I was thinking my streams were going to be one way. I might change it up a little bit and do it differently. What that means to you guys is very little, but basically what I'm saying is what I want to stream might be changing. I still want to do Minecraft for sure, because I've got this nice series going on. Oh my god. Could you imagine if that's how I ended the stream? Just a creeper was behind me, hissed and exploded. Could you imagine? Anyway, that's me talking about that. The schedule will be on my channel soon, probably tomorrow, however. I work super early tomorrow, so it probably won't be until the afternoon. Also, Twitch streams are back. If you have a Twitch channel, I am doing Twitch streams in the mornings when I'm not working in the morning. So no Twitch stream tomorrow morning. I was going to try to do one this morning, but after the 24-hour stream, I slept in instead. So every day that I don't work early in the morning, I will be trying to do a Twitch stream of roughly an hour to 2 hours. 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, somewhere in that realm. So twitch.tv/MagicManMo. If you have a Twitch account, you can check me out there. We've been playing, I've done 2 of them now. I've been playing Slay the Spire. I'm really enjoying that one. Really cool, fun card building, deck building RPG. It's great. I love it a lot. But so there's 2 videos over on my Twitch that you can watch of those 2 streams that I did if you're interested in watching that. The videos will also be coming to my Twitch Kive channel very soon. So if you haven't subscribed to the Twitch Kive channel, you may. It's just an archive of all my Twitch content. That's all that is. It's nothing crazy special, but all my Twitch content doesn't get saved to Twitch forever. Twitch deletes it eventually, so eventually you won't be able to find it on Twitch. So if you want to watch that, you can go to YouTube as well. So that's coming back. That's a thing. Okay, if you don't use the axe, I forgive you. Just carry it next time. I know. I think I don't have it because I broke it. I need to make a new one. What power would you have if you wanted one? If I could have a superpower, I've always wanted to be invisible. Flying would probably be more practical, but I've always wanted to be able to turn invisible. Specifically and especially if I can become invisible while wearing clothes. Because being naked every time I was invisible would be inconvenient. Remember you started a game called Kingdom Come Deliverance on Twitch? I did start that. I'm thinking about bringing that back, but I didn't feel like playing it. When I brought back my Twitch streams, I just didn't feel like playing it that day. So I might bring that back to play again soon, but it also might not be soon. So I don't know when I'll bring that back. But yeah, I thought that was interesting as well. I don't know if long-drawn RPGs like that are well suited to me for streaming content, but maybe they are. I haven't really experimented with that very much. Cool Mouth, welcome to the stream. We're just ending. We're just wrapping up. I was just ending talking about my other stuff, my Twitch that I'm bringing back and that kind of thing. I have actually slightly more than 64 melons. I've technically 85 on me. I had a lot more. I've eaten all of them. I would pick Reality Manipulator. I don't think that's a power. I think that's just being God. Pick a simpler power. If you had to have a simpler power, like if I could have a really complicated power. Okay, so I said invisibility because that's one of the classic ones. If I could have a really complicated power, I would love to be able to manipulate time. I would love to be able to control time. Slow it down, speed it up, reverse it, jump forward. Controlling time would be amazing. But that's also kind of more like God power than regular power. You know what I mean? Like, when I think, when someone asks, pick a superpower, in my head, I think, well, pick a more realistic superpower someone could have based on, like, a mutation or something weird. Like, if I had, like, a magical energy of some kind that I could manipulate the visual field around me somehow, that would be invisibility or something. Something a little bit more low-key. That's a wrap then? Good night. Yep, that's a wrap. It's actually just becoming night now, so it's appropriately timed. That's going to do it for this stream. The next Minecraft one will probably be... I'll probably do the next Minecraft one on Tuesday. Probably. Because I think Tuesdays and Fridays were going to be my Minecraft nights, but because Friday was my 24-hour stream, that's why I did Minecraft today. On Sunday. We did a little bit of Minecraft on the 24-hour one, but it wasn't a dedicated one. So that's why I did Minecraft today, but we'll probably do Minecraft again Tuesday, but then Wednesday through Sunday, I haven't decided. So stay tuned to my channel page to find out what I'll be streaming and when, but that's a wrap. There's still powers though. Yeah, it's still a power, but it feels like it's an OP power, like it's overpowered power. Minecraft Tuesdays will be back? I think so. I think it will be. Keep an eye out in case I change my mind, but I think it will be. That's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please do all the things. But whatever you guys do, wash your hands. Coronavirus is out there, dudes. Wash your hands. Bye.